What Diane didn't know when she tried to pry open my truck with a gas station gimmick key was that I'd been recording her every step from day one. It's 6 a.m., my coffee steaming in the crisp morning air, when this woman jams a flimsy tool into my F-150's lock, ranting about community violations and commercial vehicles. The grating scrape of metal sets my teeth on edge. For months, Diane Harper had ruled Pinewood Estates like a suburban warlord, measuring lawns with a ruler, timing trash cans, and extorting fines from anyone who didn't match her vision of perfection. But she picked the wrong electrician to mess with. Every late-night patrol, every fake violation notice, every attempt to seize property, it's all on 4K video. When someone tries to steal your truck at dawn, you don't just push back, you unravel their entire scam. Let me take you back to how a single dad ended up in a showdown with a self-styled neighborhood queen. I'm Ethan, 34, raising my daughter Mia after a divorce that left me working double shifts to afford a decent home. Pinewood Estates seemed like a dream. Safe streets, good schools, neighbors who waved. The $180 monthly HOA fees covered pools, landscaping, and playgrounds, fair enough. What the realtor skipped was Diane Harper, the HOA president who ran the place like a dictatorship. Diane, 58, a retired bank manager and widow, ironed her khakis and probably color-coded her spice rack. Her corner house was a fortress, white SUV gleaming, lawn unnaturally perfect, flower beds reeking of fresh mulch like a graveyard. Morning air carried leaf blower hums and the sharp click of Diane's heels on her daily inspections. Clipboard in hand, she measured garbage cans and timed commutes. My first violation notice hit week 2, tucked under my wiper, $75 for my F-150, branded a commercial vehicle in a residential zone. It's just a personal truck with a toolbox, like countless others across America. But Diane targeted specific folks. The Puerto Rican landscaper, the black courier who parked overnight, both fined for commercial or government vehicles. I paid that first fine to keep peace for Mia, starting 3rd grade. Worst call I ever made. To Diane, paying meant weakness. Her SUV soon prowled my street twice daily, gravel crunching like a predator's tread. Violation 2, $100 for gaudy Christmas light standard Target strings, same as a dozen houses. Violation 3, $125 for Mia's purple bike blocking pedestrian access in our driveway. Yet the giant manger scene down the street? Untouched. The neighborhood lived in silent dread. Mailbox chats were hushed. Glance around. Whisper harassment. Scatter before Diane spotted a plot. Mrs. Larson left after a $300 RV fine. The Browns paid $200 for a basketball hoop 6 inches off code. Mike Evans, a welder, got slammed for his work truck despite years of no issues. Worst, Mia started trembling at Diane's SUV, ducking curtains during evening patrols. That's when I knew this wasn't about rules, it was personal. Diane's car door slam became my 6:15 a.m. Wake up. Another notice, another made-up infraction, another hit to my overtime cash. Neighbors paid to stay off her radar, but I'm an electrician, I trace faults to their source. Month 3, Diane went full rogue. I'm loading my truck for a clinic job when she charges over with a toolbox, face hard like she's planning a heist. I've studied universal vehicle access, she announces, slamming her kit on my hood. HOA rules grant me entry. Her $89 locksmith kit reeks of cheap oil, a scam from some shady website. She demands I move my commercial vehicle, or she'll relocate it. The gall is staggering. She thinks HOA bylaws justify grand theft. I hit record. Ma'am, this is attempted theft. Theft? She sneers, jamming a Slim Jim into my lock. This is community access. The metal screeches like a wounded animal as she grunts, her perfume clashing with morning dew. She mutters about defiance while failing miserably. When her tools flop, she accuses me of sabotaging HOA property. I call 911. Officer Brooks, Ethan from Pinewood. Someone's trying to steal my truck. Diane counters, dialing 911, claiming I stole community keys. We're both on the phone, spinning opposite tales as a lawnmower drones nearby. Suburban morning, plus a felony. Brooks arrives, knowing my truck from a charity wiring job. Diane's locksmith system is a gas station prank, cartoon packaging screaming for entertainment only. She spent $100 on a toy to commit a crime. Brooks issues a warning, but gossip spreads like wildfire. That afternoon, I mount a security camera on my driveway. When Emily from Birch Lane whispers Diane targeted her RV too, I see a pattern. 3 neighbors confirm Diane's been testing her access on multiple vehicles. She's not just controlling, she's scheming bigger. For days post-humiliation, Diane launches a propaganda blitz. A dinnertime robocall, her voice oozing fake worry, calls an emergency safety meeting about commercial violations. Flyers hit every doorstep. My truck's photos stamped with red arrows screaming, commercial violation. She hired a graphic designer. I walk into the meeting with HOA bylaws, state codes, and my surveillance shots. Only 12 of 200 households show, including Diane's crony, Helen, a 72-year-old who dials cops on loud kids. Diane's PowerPoint is unhinged. Timestamps, plates, GPS of every work vehicle she stalked. I fire back. Diane, the covenants don't ban commercial vehicles. When was the vote? She sweats, fumbling. Standards evolve. State law needs homeowner votes for rule changes. I snap. Then Mike drops a bomb. I check county records. Diane filed these rules without approval. She's collecting illegal fines. Silence falls. Helen coughs nervously. It's not just trucks. Diane's targeting vehicles like her late husband's, a twisted blend of grief and power. Diane's answer to exposure is desperation. A tow truck idles at my house at 7 a.m., driver snapping pics. Abandoned vehicle, he mutters, confused. Diane's forged county letterhead with fake case numbers, claiming my truck's been static for weeks. I record him showing her work order a third-degree felony. He admits she's called 6 times about different vehicles, once costing his firm $15,000 in a lawsuit over a bad tow. That night, my cameras catch Diane in pajamas, army crawling around my truck with a surveyor's kit, measuring 17 times, muttering about easement breaches. She's crafting a theft case. Helen files a county complaint with Diane's fake measurements, claiming my truck blocks emergency access, a felony for false reporting. The tipping point hits when Diane tries to boot my truck in daylight with a parking device. Community safety, she huffs, botching the boot. I call 911 as she rants about fake rules. Then my buddy Chris, upgrading the community center's panel, finds a dusty box labeled confidential. Inside, bank statements showing Diane's husband owed the HOA $47,000. She erased it after taking over, then siphoned $6,847 through fake vendors, her cousin's landscaping scam, her brother-in-law's defunct firm. She even billed her harassment to the HOA. $89 for the locksmith kit, $247 for flyers. She's stealing to hide theft. My kitchen turns war room. Chris, Emily, Mike, and Rachel, an accountant, tally $11,047 in stolen funds. We plan an open HOA meeting in Mike's backyard, with legal observers and media. Mia sorts evidence, thinking it's a game. We secure Channel 7's Lisa Morgan with proof of Diane's crimes. Diane fights back with certified letters threatening to sue 73 households for conspiracy, false reports to nix our meeting, and attempts to pull our credit reports. She even tries to get me fired, calling my boss about misused equipment. Her final move, arriving with a locksmith to inspect my house, caught on camera with fake documents. Tuesday's meeting crackles. The community center packs 127 residents and a news crew. Diane, sweating in a navy suit, spins a tale of outside agitators. Rachel unveils bank statements, forged papers, and my footage of Diane's midnight antics. Mike shows her scams span 3 neighborhoods. Helen resigns, shaking. This is wrong. Diane shrieks, lunging for evidence, but Officer Brooks steps in. You're under arrest for embezzlement, false reports, and attempted theft. Handcuffs snap as she screams about authority. Applause erupts as she's let out, lights glinting off her cuffs. 3 weeks later, Pinewood breathes easy. A new board, Rachel as treasurer. Mike on enforcement cuts dues by $30 and funds a playground with recovered cash. Diane's house forecloses, repaying $8,400. Her insurance pays $4,200. She pleads guilty, getting 18 months in jail. A civil lawsuit sets a precedent against HOA abuse. Mia plays freely, and I'm dating Emily, bonded by our fight. Transparency Day barbecues replaced Diane's terror. Her old house hosts a lively family, the kind she loathed. My cameras now capture kids' laughter, not crimes. Mia wants to stay forever. It's nice now, Dad. That's the win. A neighborhood reborn through grit and proof.